In other words, they didn't really care that he has a, you know, he's an egomaniac or something, and he says, "Hey, I got a dream, and you're all bowing down to me." And they'd be like, "Whatever, dude," right? And like you said, laughing, but they got nervous, right? Because he said, if this dream is true, he's going to be telling on us. They didn't like that. He's going to be like, you know, dad's teacher's pet or whatever. You know, he's going to be like the favorite son telling on all the brothers. They didn't like that at all.
How far is it okay to walk after a surgery? So I'm going to come out of the surgery and I was going to walk half a mile home. Is that too far? Do you think
I'm not a doctor.
Fall into like bad hands?
I know a lot of things, but
things that
I am not a doctor.
I'm anesthetized and stumbling around, and you know, in the bad part of town. And
bad part of town?
Yeah.
Kaiser?
Yeah, it's down by the 10.
I'll pick you up if you need to.
Okay.
In fact, they probably won't release you unless that you have a ride.
Oh, okay.
I know that when I had my operation at Cedars, they would not let me go by taxi. I had to have someone come and pick me up.
I'd hate to be raped. Like, you know, just
they're not going to
out of surgery.
They are not going to
stumbling down La Cienega Boulevard.
They are not going to let you.
Like 6 guys jump me. And
you're going to have to. They probably should have told you that already. That you have to have someone pick you up. You should have to go to pre-op.
Yeah, I got that Wednesday.
Yeah, and they'll probably tell you at that point that you're going to have someone pick you up. They're not going to let you drive. They're not going to let you walk home.
Why are the brothers pasturing at Shechem? Didn't they just wipe out the Shechemites? Would it not be dangerous for them to be hanging out at Shechem?
I would ask it the other way. Why would you even ask that question? They just wiped everybody out. Now it's safe to go in there. Where was your Havamina? And what made you think it would be dangerous to go there?
Well, I am pre-op, but I'm not a pre-op transsexual. I'm just a pre-op to get a deviated septum fixed. Well, I think that they gathered quite a reputation for their little deeds at Shechem, and you know, word kind of probably got around, and
I think word got around that they're badass. People probably stayed away.
So, this is what I wanted to ask you. I was walking down Pico Boulevard Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
And there was this like very strong stream of urine.
Black kid.
Coming like right out in front of me, and I like kind of followed the stream of urine to its source. There was this little black boy.
Not a fright to the certain rabbi in town.
And this little black boy was pissing out from the bus stop on Pico Boulevard near La Cienega.
I have a question for you at the end of the story.
And he was just like very innocently like sending this really strong stream out, and I looked at him, and I just got this big goofy grin on my face. And then he and his friend said, "Oh man, this guy's gay," and I got really scared and ashamed, and I just like hurried off. So like, what would have been the proper response? Like I felt as soon as I saw what he was doing, and I looked him in the face, and I just like got this big goofy smile. It wasn't because I wanted to do anything illegitimate with him. It was just like funny. It just struck me as humorous, and I like gave him this big goofy smile. But he thought I liked him. What do you do in this sort of situation?
First I have a question for you. What did it do for the story to tell us that he was black? Why couldn't you just say it was just a guy pissing?
Any more than like I could say it's a living creature. It was
just
9 years old.
It's just a guy was pissing.
It was a boy. It was a boy. It was a little black boy. It was like a different culture from mine. Like I don't know, like it was just a guy pissing. It was a kid with a yarmulke and tzitzit. You know.
Okay, then you could say it's. I saw a Jew today pissing. I thought it was a
or someone like with a cross.
Yeah, right.
Someone with a cross, Christian, or if it was like an Asian.
I say, you know what? If I walk by and I saw someone doing a piss, and I don't care,
a little boy.
It wouldn't matter to me if it's a goy or a from Jew or whatever.
Would you look him in the eyes and smile?
I would not make eye contact with them. I would not make eye contact with them when they're doing their business there. Okay, I'm just like I don't notice this, I don't see it, and I am staying in my lane.
I couldn't believe that. I just like looked at him and
See,
smiled. I was like so embarrassed.
Because you're a journalist, you have to like, you're already like thinking, I want to interview him.
Yeah.
This is so unusual. Can I film it? Can I film this? Can I? What was that like? What was the experience?
It was just like, it struck me as so funny. Like, he's like standing in the bus stop and just pouring his stuff out like right in front of me. And it was like, it struck me as funny, but then I got this big goofy grin, and the things he must have thought, oh, he's going to hate Jews now.
Yeah, that's the thing. I would just stay in my lane. I'm not obtrusive. Don't notice me. You know, I'm doing my thing. But that's generally how I am with everybody, whether they're pissing or they're just walking down the street. I just don't want to know anybody. I just stay in my little shell.
So I've got a big party on December 4th, and I'm trying to figure out what personality to wear.
Be Prager, man. That's.
Should I go as Dennis Prager?
You should, yeah. Put on a few
pounds. Should I go
pounds.
as a prude Orthodox Jew? Should I go as a debauched womanizer?
No, just no. You can't pull off the womanizer thing with that beard. It doesn't work. Go as Prager.
Okay, I go as a Pragerite. Okay, good.
All right, let's continue with this boring stuff. I got to dispel every one of your myths.
Jacob says he wants to go down to Sheol. What and where is Sheol?
It means a grave. Okay.
So that's another intimation of the afterlife in the Torah.
Well, no. Let's clarify. The simple pshat, simple explanation is Yaakov says he'll mourn until he dies.
Mm-hmm.
Until Yaakov dies, until he goes down to the grave, Shola, right? He goes down to the grave. He's going to mourn for the rest of his life for the loss of his son. The Medrash says more than that. He was saying that he was intimating that even if he goes down to Gehenna, right? Sheol means Gehenna, that even in the afterlife he will mourn then. So it's not just till the time he hits the grave, but even after that he's going to mourn into the afterlife. Okay.
Why does the Torah include the unsavory Judah and Tamar story? Why must our holy Torah contain so much sex? Doesn't seem very spiritual.
So much sex. Boy, you should have been in the room when I read that, because my head exploded when I read that. I just want to put this out there. Bible critics such as yourself are very quick to jump to conclusions that the Torah advocates an obscenity, chas v'shalom. You approach Torah like a Bible critic. You look at verses, you take them at face value, you conclude that those verses on their own must be what happened, and then you run with it and say, oh my God, look what they're talking about. That is not learning Torah. That is Bible criticism. That is reading verses at face value. That is the way of Christians and Reformed Jews and secular Jews, but that's not Torah learning. Because what is Torah learning? We have the oral Torah. The oral tradition is what we follow, and you cannot read those verses in a vacuum. You must be accompanied with the oral Torah, with the Talmud, with the Medrash. If you don't have that, without the commentaries, you should never pick up a Tanakh. Are you listening to me?
Yes.
This is why I exploded and I said, ignore everything he wrote, because every single thing that you put on that blog tonight, on your blog, it's just verses, and you're looking at it all at face value, and it's got nothing to do with Judaism.
So why does the Torah include this unsavory Judah Tamar story?
It's not unsavory.
She dresses up as a hooker, he buys her services, doesn't even ask her name, apparently didn't even look her in the face. He just uses her, goes off, then the people find out that this woman's pregnant, and he says, oh, she's a prostitute, let's burn her, like this is like 17th century Massachusetts. And then she says, this is a man who purchased my services, here's his stuff, and he goes, oh, whoops.
Okay, can I answer up all that?
Yeah.
It's going to be a long explanation. I can't do it in 2 seconds. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
This is if you will, it's almost a metaphor. It's not even what happened, the way it's described. This is a metaphor of what's called a great argument. We learn out a tremendous mitzvah here of what's